what is separating me from reality? We are living life mostly by anticipation. We think we are living in the now, in reality, but in truth, our attention is going through a channel which is called the mind, which separates us from reality. So if we observe closely, we can notice that we spend a lot of time in thinking, which is living in anticipation, because mind lives mostly in the past and future, not now. Mind cannot live in the now. So living life in anticipation can be through thinking. For example, there is a situation which might happen or did happen, past, future. Then we think about it, the past or future. And the time we think about it, for example, it's a situation in the future, and we spend so much time thinking about it before it happens even. This is living life in anticipation, in the mind. Because when it happens, the situation, if we are really in the moment, we'll go through it in the best way, without this anticipation thinking. Of course, it doesn't mean we cannot use a practical mind to anticipate a situation, but to anticipate, over-anticipate, including especially our emotional and conditioning patterns. So to look closely how it works, it goes so quick, the mind, that we have no time to notice it if we are not really aware and present. And sometimes it's not a thought. If it's not a thought, it's an energy which is anticipating. The example I will give you is my own experience, because I have something with sound, which is has been very present, much less now, present in my life. And I spend a lot of time in India also, where sound is very predominant. So it also forces me to look for the real silence, not the silence which is in this realm. So, yeah, like you can hear now, dogs maybe, or some little, it's quite quiet now at this moment. But so, this example of sound, if I wake up in the morning and I've already this anticipation that sound, barking dogs or music or people talking or this in early morning, for example, in that kind of situation, if I have my attention on that, in anticipating, then there's a kind of energy which we might fairly call fear. Fear that something might happen, that some dogs might bark, some people put some music. At the time I want to be in peace, in silence. So this energy of expectation, waiting in fear, is now experienced not as a thought directly, but as an energy. It's more subtle. So I gave you this example for sound, but it can be for anything. Fear of, I have a close friend who has this with food, a lot of things related to food, and also with water in India, which is the tap water, which is not always so to wash the dishes, and this is a big awakening some old stuff. It can be anything, with a person, with a situation, with the weather. So you can look in your life how it resonates for you, and in which way you can just pinch that energy which separate you from reality, living in anticipation, either through this subtle energy of fear or through thought. How much your attention is going through that. So you can do a thing which is very easy, simple in words at least, is to be just here and waiting without waiting. So it brings you back in the place prior to that expectation, energy which is living in anticipation or thinking in anticipation, and just to go prior to that and to be in this waiting without waiting, and that is awareness. And to observe that, what is cutting me from reality, because there is a subject and an object. Me is anticipating that this may happen, or living in the past, either through thinking or through a subtle energy that we may feel. Something feel disturbed, feel insecure. It can be fear of war in the world. It can be fear that my partner may leave me. It may be fear that I fall sick. It may be fear that I die. Fear. So fear is this subtle energy which separates me from reality, because there is a me who is in fear of whatever it is. Fear of a sound which might disturb my peace, which is obviously a fake peace, because it's depending on something. So if I can just be here waiting without waiting, or listening without listening to whatever speak to you, or seeing without seeing, is stepping back prior to the me who is related to outer object. So me as a fake subject is living in anticipation of what may happen, or in memory of the past. So me is ready to object through thinking or feeling. So just to be here now and just do nothing specifically, just waiting without waiting. And say, oh, that's not so difficult or terrible to be in touch with that expectation energy or that fear. Because fear is ego-based. Ego is connected with outer objects. So according to the behavior of outer objects, people, weather, situation, whatever, this subject, me, is depending on that behaviors of other objects. So to stay in this waiting without waiting and just witnessing, observing this energy of expectation or thinking in either way. Or in either way, it can manifest in a physical way, some discomfort. Just observing how much it is separating me from reality. Because reality is not in this relation of subject and object. So waiting without waiting. That's where we are always as consciousness, which is not separate, where there is no two. So this can be in any daily life situation, or in meditation, closed eyes, open eyes, all is same. It's all, there is no what is not spiritual, what is spiritual. It's also cutting us from spirit, from reality, to divide things, to divide what is real, what is unreal, what always dividing, is cutting us from reality. But to be in this waiting without waiting, there is no need to manipulate, where there is nothing to change, to expect, or to regret from the past. That's the most beautiful place to be, and that's always here and now, pure consciousness of the self, which is not in this play, which is but also not fighting with this play of manifestation in time and space. Thank you so much for listening. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel. I also offer some services as a transpersonal coach, so feel free to contact me on the link below on my WhatsApp number. I will be happy to have a free call with you. Yes, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Namaste.